Hello, I'm Caroline Reid and I'm one of the course tutors for the Award of Proficiency in Access Arrangements Coordination, which we refer to as the APAAC. So who are we? For more than a decade, Communicate Ed have been running courses across the country and online, and our aim is always to provide high quality, value for money training courses. We focus on educational professionals working in the area of special needs, and we provide expert course tutors to run courses for schools, colleges and local authorities and universities. We originally launched the PAPA qualification, the Postgraduate Award of Proficiency in Access Arrangements Assessment, which qualifies people to actually carry out assessments for access arrangements. And we're now working in association with Include Ed Limited to offer this accredited training. So this course, the APAAC course, is designed for professionals who coordinate the access arrangements process within a centre, within a school or a college. It might be the SENCO or possibly an additional support manager, but very often we find in many schools and colleges the SENCO or the ASM is simply too busy, so that part of their role is delegated to someone else, which we've called the access arrangements coordinator. So you might be working on behalf of the SENCO or the ASM if you have a specific role on access arrangements coordination. Please note that this course doesn't qualify you to carry out core assessments and complete Section C of Form 8. You'll be able to complete Section A of Form 8, which is the form that we use to give evidence for a student who has learning difficulties to have access arrangements, but you have to have an additional much higher level qualification to carry out the assessments. So the course structure. The course will take about 30 hours to complete, and students who pass all the assignments will gain the Award of Proficiency in Access Arrangements Coordination, and you'll get a certificate to confirm that. There are 9 teaching sessions grouped into 3 main headings. Section 1 is the foundation section, which we've called What. So what are access arrangements and what access arrangements are actually available for students. Section 2 is all about identification, who's eligible for access arrangements in the centre. And we've got various ways of assessing this. We do some basic screening assessments and also looking at other special needs information that you may have on file. Session 3 is all about application. So how do we make applications for these access arrangements, and how do we make those arrangements available to students? So here's a chart giving you a little bit more detail about each of those. So part 1 is an overview of the JCQ regulations and procedures, and that comes under section 1. And then section 2, understanding the use of standardised tests and actually doing some screening, very simple screening tests, identifying students with other difficulties and working with the qualified assessor. And section 3 is all about application, completing Form 8 Section A, making online applications, liaising with parents and students, and actually your role in the centre and school and colleges processes. So what format does the course take? The training sessions are all online, and there's some advantages to that. You see the PowerPoint slides on the screen just as you are now, and again the speaker is shown on the screen just as I am now. The course materials are available in a PDF format for you to print out, and each session has suggested activities which we call action points, which helps you to consolidate the information that you've been given. You can do it in longer blocks of time, so you could spend perhaps a day working on this, or you could break it down into shorter periods. Many of our students and delegates actually maybe do an hour a day. Why online? Well, we found that busy professionals don't always have the time and the opportunity to attend off-site courses. And online courses can be accessed anywhere with a good broadband connection, for example in the workplace or maybe even at home. The costs, of course, of running online courses are lower, so we can pass those savings on to our students. Students don't need to travel, which saves time and transport costs. And you may not need to arrange cover, for example, if you're a teacher. Training can be completed at a time completely convenient to you. And another plus that our students have commented on is that the video presentations allow you to rewind and watch sections again if you need to do that for further reinforcement. You can't always do that with a live course. There's a course manager who will provide you with information on how to access the videos and course materials. There's an online forum where you can meet and discuss with other APAAC students. And most students we find are working in a centre and they get support from colleagues. So how will you be assessed? We ask you to annotate the course materials while you're watching video presentations to make notes, etc. about what you're hearing. We ask you to complete action points. I've already mentioned that we offer action points just to consolidate information that's part of the presentation. There's online multiple choice assessments. We ask you to administer 3 simple tests with a candidate: reading comprehension, writing and spelling. You need to collate paperwork and apply for access arrangements using the Access Arrangements online training site. Organise training for colleagues on the JCQ regulations, and we actually provide a video and course materials for that. So you are simply organising the training. You're not expected to stand up and actually give the training. Assignments are saved electronically. So we would ask you to make a document library like this one. You'd name it with your name and the name of the course. Inside you will have 10 folders where inside each of those folders you would save the assignment documents which we explain about during the presentations. And then just going into that first one, for example, you would show the pass certificate, because that first assignment is actually doing a multiple choice assessment. So pretty straightforward how to save those documents. So how do you apply for the course? You need to go onto our website and click on the tab at the top, which is APAAC. And at the bottom of that page, you'll find a link to our web booking form. We have a rolling programme that starts at the beginning of each month, so you don't have to wait for the next start date. You can simply start each month with the next cohort. Please see our website for the current fee, which includes registration and certification, a login to our online learning environment, that's where you'll do all your training sessions, links to PDF handouts related to the videos, resources to support the assignments, and support from our course manager. Access to our online discussion forum for APAAC students. And you will need examiner and pupil booklets for the Access reading test and the detailed assessment of speed of handwriting for session 3. Now, many schools and colleges already have either one or both of those tests, so you'll have access to those. If you don't have those in your centre, you need to contact the course manager and we'll post copies of those to you. So what other costs are there? Well, of course, you'll need to print out the PDF handouts, and that is quite extensive. The marking of the administration of tests, if you don't have access to a level 7 assessor. In session 3, we ask you to actually carry out 3 tests with a student, and most centres will have a level 7 qualified access arrangements assessor available to them, who will watch you actually carrying out those tests and complete a form afterwards. If you don't have access to that assessor, then you will need to video yourself, and there'll be an additional fee to have that marked by one of our assessors. We have a shop on the Communicate Ed website where we have a range of resources to support the access arrangements process in the centres. You don't need any of those are entirely optional, but we do mention those throughout the course, so you might want to have a look at that. All the proceeds go direct to our charitable trust. You'll need access to the manuals to administer tests of reading comprehension, writing. You'll need to use the DASH for that. That's the only writing test that's acceptable, and a spelling test. And we expect that almost every centre will have access to one of those. You don't have to use the ones that we cover in the session 3, but you can use any that's in your centre that's suitably age appropriate and up to date. So you'll need to have access to those manuals. We do have a library if you haven't got any of those or you're missing one of them, and we can lend you something from our library for a fee, which really just covers our admin and postage. Do you have any more questions? Please visit our website at Communicate Ed/APAAC or the Include Ed website. The tab of APAAC is at the top. Or if you still have questions, please email apaac@includeed.org.uk. Thank you very much for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you.